Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Let's click on the algebra and go down to linear equations. Let's click on this number 1 here. 1-1 says find the solution to the equation. So we have a linear equation here. And can you identify why this is linear and nonlinear, let's say? Well, we've got a variable that is raised to the first power. And that kind of tells you there that it's a linear equation in a sense. Alright, well, anyway, we want to find the solutions to this equation, and that's what we're actually going to be focusing on here. And of course, we always start off with something simple, or somewhat simple. You may not think it's simple. Let's, what do we want to do here? What about that color? I don't know. Anyway, we have x minus 94 is equal to 0, and we want to solve for x. Well, obviously, if you plug 94 in right here, you would get 94 minus 94, and that's 0, right? So one of the solutions, and we could actually put it in a set parentheses here. It's not necessary. But anyway, sometimes people do this, right? X is 94. But you just got another equation. But anyway, let's not get too caught up in all this. But this is actually how this works, okay? If we had to do this algebraically. What you're going to end up doing here is we'll rewrite what's going on here. Okay, we don't need to have any problems here. 94. And I'll use a different color here. So if you add 94 to both sides of our equation, right, so we have 0 over here, but then we add 94, right? If we're going to add 94 to this side, we have to add it to this side. So this way both are still equal. And of course, as you can see here, we got negative 94 plus 94. So that's going to what? Cancel out to 0, right? And so we're going to end up with x is equal to, and of course 0 plus 94 is just 94. See that? Alright, pretty simple. Just add whatever this value is, make sure you add it to both sides. Okay? And so the solution is 94. We can go up here and let's make sure all that's going to work out. Just type it in there like that, hit correct, or you could go up to the top and hit the answer, whatever you want to do. Alright? So come on by gotomath.com. Time to start learning how to solve linear equations. And I'll talk to you later. Alright, bye. Alright, we're over here at gotomath.com. Boy, how do you like that introduction for 3 seconds? What are we doing? We're doing linear equations. I'm going to get you in the disco mood or whatever that is. Pop rock. X plus 3. What are we doing? We're doing this one here, I guess. Anyway, got on a sidetrack there a little bit. Find the solution to the equation. Whoa, what is that? I guess we'll just come right on down here. Change the pen there to that. What do you think? That color? I don't know. So we have x plus 76, if I can write it out, is equal to 15. So I've done a little fixing here on my pen. Need to do a little bit more tweaking. But anyway, it's getting a little better, I guess. So we want to solve for x in this problem. And what we're going to do is we need to subtract this 76. Okay? So we'll rewrite this again. This way I'll give a little bit more room. So let's subtract 76 from both sides. That's what we're going to do. Minus 76. See that? That's all you got to do. We're trying to isolate x. That is, get x on one side of the equal sign and then carry everything else over to the right. And you just simply do this by subtracting. We want to get rid of this 76. Well, just subtract 76, right? But what we do over here, we must also do on the right-hand side of the equals. So therefore, this goes to 0, and we're left with 15 minus 76. Now, I know everybody knows what that is right off the top of their head. I got negative 61. Negative 61. All right. So let's go up here, and looks like I cheated. But anyway, hey, I've got a calculator. Might as well use it. Correct. And of course, you can always go up to the top and hit the answer if you want. Want to do that? All right. So come on by, practice, and I'll turn you into a mathematician with a little practice. All right. Well, that might be kind of an exaggeration, but at this point anyway. Okay, we're over here, go to math.com. If you didn't know, that's where you are. Let's go down to linear equations. We clicked on algebra and went to linear equations. I think we're doing 2.1. 2.1. All right. So it asks, find the solutions to the equation, and let's do something different. How about that one? I don't know, it didn't really matter, but that just seemed kind of obvious maybe. Okay, let's just go on down here, write this thing out. What color do we want to use? We'll use that color. So we have 32. X is equal to 320. All right. And somehow we've got to get a 1 right here. Okay. And a 1, I mean 1 times X. We need to get a 1 right here. And it's pretty easy to do that because what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this by its reciprocal. So if A is some number, its reciprocal is 1 over A. And if you didn't know that A times 1 over A, right, A is some number, is equal to 1. Okay, equal to 1. So what would be the reciprocal of 32? Well, that's pretty easy. I think I'll use green, so I've been using green. 1 over 32, okay, times 32x is equal to 1 over 32 times 320. You see that? So 1 over 32 times 32 is just going to end up being 1. And of course, this right here, you know, you could write it like this if you wanted to. But we need to actually simplify this down, which ought to be pretty easy to do, right? So 1 times x, we just don't say 1 times x, we just drop the 1 and just say x is equal to, right? So what do you think this is? 32 goes into 320 how many times? 10 times? Is that right? 10 times? Okay. 10 times. But the solution, we'll write solution here, the solution to this equation is 10. Now sometimes there's some instructors out there that don't like you to write it like this. Alright, they don't like you to write it like this even though you are solving for x in this problem. But the solution to the equation, we'll just write 10. And that's just the way I'm going to answer it up here in the checkbox. And then of course if you go up and click help, or answer I mean, that's the way, that's the solution to the equation. Alright. Okay, pretty simple stuff. We're going to go on, come on by GoToMath.com, check it out, and I'll talk to you later. We're over at GoToMath.com, pulling our hair out. Let's, linear equations. Let's go down to 2.2, I guess. We need to do. And bring up the marker board. It says find the solution to the equation. We've got an equation here. I don't know if anybody noticed that or not. And we want to find out what number x should I plug in order to get 4012. Alright, what should I plug in here to get 4012? So, what are we using? That color today? I don't know, it's brown. Let's use this. Okay, so let me just rewrite this. We have negative 59 x is equal to 40, 12. Alright, so we want to multiply this by its reciprocal. Okay, and I guess I'll use a different color. So we're going to say negative 1 over 59, okay, and then times, and we're going to rewrite this. I'm going to put a parentheses here because of this negative sign. 59 x is equal to, now what we do to the left hand side we must do over here to the right hand side. So negative 1 over 59 times 41, 2. Now, I didn't need to put that in parentheses, but for some reason I did anyway, so let's not get too caught up in all that. So negative 1 over 59, a negative times negative is positive first off. 1 over 59 times 59 is just going to be 1. And so then we're going to be left with a negative 4012 over 59. Negative 4012 over 59. So I'll let you figure out what 4012 over 59 simplifies down to while I go up to the top and cheat. So 68 it looks like. Of course we don't rewrite that 1. And remember it's negative 68. Okay. So our solution is 68. Alright, and that's just the way you're going to type it in the checkbox there. So the solution to this equation is 68. Let's type that in. Don't forget the negative sign like I did a second ago. And correct. And of course we can go up here. Let's click answer. Let's make sure the script is all looking good. Everything looks good. Alright, well, we're over here at gotomath.com. You can come on by, check it out. See you later. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to linear equations and 3.1. Alright, 3.1 is what we want to look at. So it says find the solution to the equation. Here's our linear equation. We need to figure out what number can I plug in right here to get this whole side on the left to be 118. Okay, and this is what we're going to do. So I'll just rewrite all this. We got 7x plus 13 is equal to 118. Alright, so let's get rid of this 13 first off. Okay, let's take this over to the right hand side, or let's subtract 13 from both sides. Now of course I'm not going to do this every time. I move this stuff around like it's chess pieces. Alright, so minus 13 to the left, and that means that we're going to have to subtract 13 from the right also. Okay, it just won't be fair if we subtracted 13 from the left and did subtract 13 from the right. So it's all about being fair here. We got to be fair about it. Alright, so this looks like, let's see, 18 and 13 is 5. I don't know. I mean, not 5. Oh my God. 105 is what I meant to say. Okay, so we got 105. Now, so this goes to 0, so we're left with 7x. Alright, and what we're going to want to do now is multiply by the reciprocal of this number here. So 1 over 7 times, and then 1 over 7 on this side over here. So 1 over 7 times 7 is just 1. And then of course this is 105 over 7. 105 over 7. Right? And anyway, it looks like that's as far as we can simplify that fraction down. So it looks like our solution is 105 over 7. I don't know what I'm thinking. That's actually can be reduced down to 15. 7 is 5. 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Yeah, 105. Okay. I went up there to click and check that out. What did I say it was? 15? 15. Click. Correct. Okay. I glanced at that and I'm like, that can't be simplified down. Then I started thinking about it. Okay, so we're over here at gotomath.com. Come on by, practice your solving your linear equations. All right, bye. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on algebra. Let's go down to linear equations. And 3.2, I believe, is next on my list. Click on the marker board. Got something to write on. Find the solution to the equation. I mean, that's basically what we're going to be doing this entire section. So once again, we have another one that was much like the previous one we did, 3.1, except I think there's a minus in there. Okay, so what do we need to do here? Let's write this thing down. How about we just use black this time? What the heck? 9x minus 18 is equal to 126. Equal to 126. So we need to get rid of this 18. And we're going to do that. So 9x minus 18. Look at here. We're going to use that color. So we're going to add 18. Actually, I kind of like this color combination. And we have 126. And then, of course, we do to the left, we got to do to the right. Okay. And so we have negative 18 plus 18. That's going to go to 0. And we're left with 9x is equal to 126 plus 18. Now, we should know how to do that off the top of our head. Pretty easy stuff there, right? This is an arithmetic class. All right. And let's see, 144. 120, let's see, 20, 30, yeah, okay. And now what we've got is we want to multiply both sides by the reciprocal to get a 1 right here. And we'll do that by going 1/9 to both sides. And 1/9 times 144. Alright, so we end up with a 1 here, but we're not going to write it. So we got x, and surely this simplifies down. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, 144 over 9. I can't think. 12 times 12. Oh yeah, I see it now. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, so the solution to this equation is 6 times 54, yeah. The solution is 16, all right? And you can always check that by plugging 16 in right here. 9 times 16 minus 18 should give you 126. If it doesn't, then that's the wrong solution, right? The wrong solution. Okay, so we just want to check to make sure that's good and make sure the answer up here is good. Okay. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com. Come on by, practice your linear equations. See you later. Okay, we're over here at somewhere. We're over here at gotomath.com. That's where we are. Let's go down to linear equations. And let's go down to 4.1. Alright. Bring up the marker board, find the solution to the equation. That's what most of these problems will say in this section. Okay, so let me just go ahead and just rewrite this thing out. We got negative 13 is equal to, I don't like that. Let's reduce the thickness there. 8 x minus 12 plus 11. And yeah, 4.1. Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this 11. Let's get rid of this 11. Let's just do that. So we want to subtract 11 from both sides. Subtract 11 from both sides here, okay? And then we'll rewrite. So we have negative 13 minus 11 is going to give us a negative 24. Is that right? Should be right. 2. Okay, why am I questioning that? Who knows? So that right there just disappears because that becomes 0. Right? X minus 12. Now let's get rid of this 8, and we can do that by multiplying through by the reciprocal to both sides. Okay, I'm not going to rewrite this. So 1 over 8 times 8, and then of course here we'll write it right here. 1 over 8 times the left hand side also. So that's just going to become a 1. Alright, and so we have negative 24 over 8. We'll go ahead and just rewrite that like that. And of course that just becomes 1, but I'm not going to write the 1. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the parentheses because we can do that now. Alright, so 8 goes into 24, what, 3 times? We'll go ahead and simplify that. Alright, so we want to get rid of this 12. We're trying to isolate x, remember. And to get rid of that 12, we can add 12 to both sides. And you know what? I'll just put the 12 over here. We don't have to put a plus sign right there. Okay. So now what do we have? Well, that goes to 0. It's a plus sign there. So we have x is equal to 12 minus 3 is what? 9. Is that right? 9. So we have the solution. I've been just writing SOL, and that means solution and not something else, which some might consider. It's actually kind of funny. Okay, so the solution is 9. Now you can always check your work by putting a 9 in up here, right? 9 minus 12, multiplying that by 8, adding 11, and you should get negative 13, but that's actually kind of strange. Well, no, I guess not. 9 minus 12 is what? 3, 24, negative 24. Negative 3. Negative 24 plus 11. Okay. We'll just take it as 9. We're going to find out here in just a second. Correct. Answer 9. Okay. Alright. So there you go. Come on by GoToMath.com. You can practice and practice and practice. See you later. Alright, we're over here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Go down to linear equations. And what is going on here? Algebra. I think I must have checked the wrong thing or something. It's like there was no problem set. What are we doing? 4.2? Click on that right there. And of course you can always click on these buttons if you want to bring the problem up. Alright. Options. We got options. Find the solution to the equation. And that's what we're going to do. So we have 15. And once again, I need to reset this. I don't know. Let's do that. We have, what do we have? We have 15 x minus 16 plus 10 is equal to negative 215. Okay? And what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this 10 over to the right hand side, and we do that by subtracting. So we're going to subtract 10 from both sides. Let's put it down here. You get the drift, right? And let's just go ahead and rewrite. So we have 15 x minus 16 is equal to, now of course positive 10 minus 10 goes to 0, and then we have negative 15 minus 10 is negative 225, right? That sound right? Alright, and now what we're going to want to do is multiply through by the reciprocal. Let's go ahead and get this 15. Let's get rid of it. Alright. You could distribute the 15 across if you wanted, but then that's just a bunch of extra steps. So let's just go ahead and multiply both sides by its reciprocal, 1 over 15. Do that. Okay. So 1 over 15 times 15 is just 1, but we don't have to write the 1 there. And then we don't have to rewrite these parentheses. We're going to go ahead and drop them. Okay, drop the parentheses. So we have x minus 16 is equal to negative 220. Now you can go ahead and simplify this down if you want, I suppose. Probably be a good thing to do, actually. I do know it simplifies down. I'm sure it's both got 5s on the end. So that's kind of a hint. 15. Okay. Well, anyway, this simplifies down to negative 15. All right. We'll just go ahead and rewrite everything. Okay, so we want to get rid of this 16 now, so we just add 16 to both sides. Adding 16 to both sides, and so we end up with x is equal to, looks like 1. X is 1. What am I doing still in purple? I don't know. So the solution is 1. The solution is 1. Okay. So if you were to plug 1 in up here, 1 minus 16 is negative 15. Negative 15 times 15 plus 10 should give you negative 215. Should anyway. What did I say? The solution was 1? That's what I said. I think that's what I said. Correct. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and click up here. The answer shows 1. Alright. Well, you know where we are. We're over here at GoToMath. If you don't know, I'm telling you. GoToMath.com is where you can practice your stuff, and I'll see you later. Alright, we're over here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Go down to linear equations. And let's see, 4.2. I believe we're doing 5.1 here. Click on that. And let's click on the marker board. Bring that up. Find the solution to the equation. I was like thinking, I think we already worked something like that, but now I see there's something different about it. Alright, what do you want? Have blue. We hadn't done that in a while. So we have 17. X is equal to 2x plus 4. Alright. Now, we want to consolidate all of our x's to one side and get our constants over to the right. That's kind of what we want to do, right? That's one of the first things. And so let's take a look at this. This coefficient right here, 17, is larger than this coefficient, right? And so that means we want to go ahead and take this 2x and make it appear on this side of the equation. And now let me show you how to do that magic trick. It is a magic trick, I'm telling you. So we have 17x, and we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. Subtracting x from both sides, okay? Minus 2x plus 2x, and then of course we got the plus 4 over here. So what's going to happen here is, as you can see, that's going to go to 0, and that we just made it disappear on the right and appear over here on the left. Except it's got a bad attitude, right? It's negative. However you want to remember this stuff. So anyway, so we have 17 minus 2. These are both like terms, and if they're like terms, we can add them. Okay? They're like because, well, they both have a power of 1 right here, and they both have the same variable. Anyway, so 17 minus 2 is 15x. Alright, so that's going to go to 0, and then we're left with a 4 here. Left with a 4. So now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, because we need to get a 1 here. Alright, so 1 over 15 times 15 is 1. Is equal to 4 over 15. And of course, we don't ever write 1s out in front of x's. We could just write it like this. Okay? But we've been writing the solution is, put a dot there, short for solution, is 4 over 15. 4 over 15. Don't worry about what's going on over here. I know that's a distraction. That's some top secret stuff going on for the CIA right now. Okay, so we have 4 over 15. 4 over 15. Let's type that in. I never did see actually. Now it's too late now, but I think that's the way they want us to write it in there. Hell, I don't know, right? 4 correct. 4 over 15, yeah, there you go. So that's the solution. It's a rational number to this equation up here. We talked about rational numbers, irrational numbers, integers. I don't know if we've even talked about that in previous sections, but it's kind of a big deal when it comes to finding solutions to equations. But anyway, we'll keep it at that. We're over here at gotomath.com. You want to come on by, practice. See you later. All right, we're over here at gotomath.com. Let's click on the algebra and go down to linear equations. And we are doing 5.2. I'm just going to click on that right there. We get 5.2 to come up. There it is. Okay. So I guess we'll bring up the marker board because I got to write on something. Find the solution to the equation, to the linear equation. This is a section on linear equations, I should say. What are we doing this time? How about that? All right. So we have 6x. You're probably like, you know what? Clear that. Do 6x. Did I click on that? Minus 17 is equal to 15x. Okay. So we want to consolidate all our x's to one side of the equal sign. And since this one is bigger, it's going to stay, and this is going to be the one that we take over to this side over here. All right. Since it's positive, we are going to subtract a 6x from the left. All right. Plus 6x. That'd be this 6x. Minus 17. We're not going to do anything with that right now. 15x. And we subtracted 6x. That means we're going to subtract 6x over here too. Alright. So what's going to happen there? That's going to go to 0. And we're going to be left with negative 17 is equal to 15x minus 6x. Now these are both like terms. They both have the same variable, and both these variables are to the first power. So they're like terms. And what is 15 minus 6? Isn't that 9? 9x, I hope. Alright, so 9x. Now, to get rid of this 9 right here, we want to turn that into a 1. We want to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, right? Multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Let's put a parentheses around that. And so now we have negative 17 over 9 is equal to 1/9 times 9 is 1, but let's not write it. We'll just write an x there. How's that? So there is a solution to this equation. It's actually a rational number. Okay, so let's go up here. Negative 17 over 9. Negative 17 over 9. Make sure I wrote it out right. Yeah. Okay, where we at? Click on that. Correct. Let's click on the answer. Negative 17. Making sure everything is good. Okay. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com. Come on by, practice. See you later. Alright, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on algebra. Let's go down to linear equations. And what are we doing? We're doing 6.1. Let's just click on that. And we'll get it to come up eventually. There's only two possibilities. Okay. We got find the solution to the equation. Here's the equation. And let's just go ahead and write that out down here on the marker board that I spent so hard trying to create. 21 times, what do we got? X minus 14 is equal to 5x. All right. And okay, so we want to consolidate and get all of our x's over to one side of the equal sign. And what we're going to need to do here is we're going to need to go ahead and distribute this 21 across. That'd probably be the best thing to do. I don't know. There's a couple ways. You can multiply through by the reciprocal to both sides, reciprocal of 21. If you wanted to do that, but I'm just going to go ahead and multiply through by 21. How's that? So 21x is the distributive property, and then 21 times 14, we'll go ahead and just put a parentheses around that, is equal to 5x. Now you notice this number is larger than this coefficient here, and they're both like terms, so we're going to take this guy over to the left. That's what we're going to do. All right, now remember how we do that. We subtract. We subtract. All right, minus 5. I just about skipped a step on you on that. So we subtract 5x both sides. And later on in the story, we're not going to go through these same procedures every time. All right, you're probably like, what story? Later on in whose story? Anyway, so this just becomes 0. We'll just go ahead and write that there. So we have 21 minus 5. And what is that, 16? I'm not very good at arithmetic, I'll be honest. I'll be up front with that. And then negative 14 times 21. It's just too much brain power. Let's see, what do you got? 140. Oh my God. Forget it. I programmed a calculator up here. I'm going to use it. 14 times 21. Yep. Okay. What was that again? 294. Minus 294. That's what I'm getting. Yep. Okay. So we want to take this over to the right hand side, and we're going to do that by adding 294 to both sides. 294. All right. And then of course we got this 16x still we're dealing with over here. So that's going to be 0. Okay, that I shouldn't have probably wrote that there actually, but that's, you get, all right, that's 0. So anyway, let's just rewrite this. So we end up having 16x is equal to 294. 294. All right. And then we got to multiply through by 1 over 16 to both sides. You know, this problem just seems like it's just dragging on forever. X is equal to 294 over 16. Now, what is that going to be? 294 over 16. I think that simplifies down or something. I don't know. I can't remember. 294 over 16. Yeah, we probably need to simplify this down. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. 294 divided by 4. Let's see if that's anything now. 294 obviously divided by 2 is going to go 147. So we got 147 up here. 2 goes into that 8 times. So it looks like, what am I doing in purple first off, but it looks like that's going to be our solution, 147 over 8. 147 over 8. So let's try that out. And I really hope that works. Oh man, I was holding my breath on that one. Alright, 147, because I am doing this stuff on the fly, and no, I don't have it worked out already. You know, you're seeing it live right here as we go. Alright, we're over here at gotomath.com. Check it out. See you later. Okay, we're here at gotomath.com. About to fall asleep. Let's do linear equations. I think that's what we're working on. And 6.2. Let's even click on that and get that to come up. There it is. Alright. Click on the marker board. We'll go down here. Alright, so we have 5x. We'll just keep it in black. How's that? Is equal to 18 times 11x minus 20. Okay, so we want to consolidate all our x's over to either the left or the right, depending on the situation there. And the best way we're going to have to do this, as it looks like, is we're going to go ahead and distribute this 18 across. So let's do that. So we have 5x is equal to, and then we're going to have 18 times 11x minus 20 times 18. Okay. What is that all about? 18 times 11. I'll let you figure out what that is. Okay. I don't need to waste any brain power if I don't need to. 198. Alright, so I got 198 minus, oh, we need to do that over there, don't we? Oh my gosh, 20 times 18. Let's do that. And what are we getting on that? 360. Okay, so we got 360 there. And then, of course, we have 5x. So since this coefficient is larger than this one, we're going to leave this here. All right. Take this 5x over to the other side. So what does that mean? That means that we're going to subtract 5x because we want to get a 0 here, and that means subtracting 5x to this side here. All right. So we end up with 0 is equal to, and then let's see, what's 8 minus 5? 3? 193. Was that a negative ever? No, I don't guess not. Yeah. Okay, 193. X minus 360. So we need to get rid of this 360, and what does that mean? That means we got to add 360 to both sides. Right? Add 360 to both sides. Okay. And whoa, man, that just kind of went out of the way there. So we have 360 is equal to 193x, and now we can do something. We can multiply both sides by 193, the reciprocal of 193, 1 over 193 that is. And so we have 1 over 193. All right. And what's going on now? Well, we end up with 360 over 193 is equal to x. So it looks like our solution is 360 over 193. Now, will that reduce down any? That's the question. And I don't think it does. Alright, 3 doesn't go into 360. Yeah, I don't believe that's going to reduce down any. Anyway, but I did cheat. I looked at the answer just to make sure. Okay, so 360 over 193, you can type in the box, go on with your life, whatever. Alright, we're done here. Anyway, we're gotomath.com. Come on by, practice, see you later. Okay, we're here at gotomath.com, about to fall asleep. Click on the linear equations, or maybe I'll click on them. What are we doing? 7.1, I think. I'm just working my way on right on down. Find the solution to the equation, if there is any, and I think there's at least one. There is exactly one, actually. We have x minus 18 over 18 plus x is equal to 17. So let's bring up something to write on. Alright, we got x. I need to reset my default, I think. That doesn't look like that thinned out any. I don't know. Over 18 plus x is equal to 17. Okay. We need to get rid of this 18. That thing's kind of way in the way there. And by doing that, what you're going to do is just multiply 18 all the way through. Alright. We're going to sneak it in right there. How's that? We'll put the plus over here. Okay. And we can put the 18 over on this side, actually. Alright, so the reason we put the 18 up here, this is like multiplying through by the reciprocal, because this is really 1 over 18. If we brought this out, 18 times 1 over 18 is 1. So those guys cancel out. And we're left with x minus 18 plus 18x is equal to 17 times 18, which would be a good idea right now to find out what in the world 17 times 18 actually is. And I'm going to do that. 306. I'll let you do that by hand. Use a calculator, whatever you got to do out there. Okay, so we got 306. We have, let's collect up some like terms over here. X and 18x are like terms, so that's 19x. Go ahead and bring that 18 over on the right. Is 306. Okay. Now, we can add 18 to both sides. Working with a lot of 18s in this problem. Could get confusing, actually. And the reason for that is we want a 0 here, right? So we're going to have 19x is equal to 306 plus 18. 306 plus 18, which you need to figure out what that is. What is that? 123? 124? My God, how embarrassing. 306 and 18. 306 and 18. I just had to take brain power. 324. What did I say a minute ago? I can't remember. I just don't want to make any mistakes. 324 and 19x. So then we multiply through by the reciprocal here. 1 over 19. 1 over 19. X is equal to 324 over 19. Oh, I've had friends in the past, they're like, man, I bet you can multiply, 4-digit numbers in your head together. I'm like, dude, I'm lucky to multiply 1-digit numbers. So a lot of people don't understand that, but anyway. So we just don't care. We're more interested in the concept than trying to multiply 3-digit numbers in our heads. There's calculators for that kind of stuff. We got 324 over 19. Does that reduce down? And I don't believe so. 19 is a prime number, isn't it? That doesn't mean that 19 doesn't go into 324, though. I'm sure there's probably some number theorists out there like, oh my God, you can't tell 19 goes into 324. Anyway, we've been writing our solution, SOL. Which means solution and not something else. I have to keep telling myself that. 324 over 19, I believe that's as low as it goes. And of course I did check that before. You can go ahead and type that in. Let's just do that. Let's type that in up here just to make sure that this box is programmed correctly for this one. Correct. You are correct. You get a biscuit. Alright, so you're at gotomath.com. Come on by, practice. See you later. Alright, we're over here at gotomath.com doing something. We're doing linear, I about said linear algebra. I wish I was actually doing linear algebra right now. I think 7.2, because that basically means I've completed all of calculus, differential equations, trigonometry, and everything else. But probably going to be a while before that happens. It just takes a lot of time doing this stuff. If old Bill out there would just donate some money, maybe I can hire some people and we can get this stuff worked out quickly. Okay, old Bill. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. 7x minus 12 over 17 plus 17x is equal to 24. I don't know. I should have been writing that down while I said that. I don't know. I started thinking about Bill there. Yes, before there was this other guy, there was me. Yeah, there's a story behind all that. Who the first person on YouTube was actually posting math videos back in 2004, I think it was. Yep. Man, I got caught up and I'm doing a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, yep. Things could be a whole lot different right now. That's for sure. We got a 17 here and a 17 up here, which is just coincidence, by the way. We want to multiply, we get rid of this 17, and we're going to multiply through all the way across by 17. 17 there, and I really don't have room here to write this, do I? Let me erase, let's just erase this. You can always plan this stuff out in advance. All right. Oh my God, I always forget about that. What in the world? I need to redo some things. Okay, sorry about the delay here. Plus, let's put a space, 17x is equal to 14. I think I'm ready now. So we have 17 multiplied by 17, multiply 17 here. Yep, and 17 here. So you got to do it all the way across. All right, if you don't, you're going to be in big trouble. So these 17s here cancel out. Okay, and then we're left with 7x minus 12 plus, we got 17 times 17, and I'm sure there's people out there that can just do that in their heads, but you know, what's the point? There's too many other things to have to deal with. Try to remember how to do 289. That's what I got anyway. X is equal to 17 times 14. I bet that's less than 289. Right. Oh my God, my computer's now got a message. Computer 9%. It's about to go dead on me. What did I say? 17 times 9? Batteries just don't last long anymore. 17 times 9. What am I doing? 17 times 14. My God. 17 times 14. I just hope I can finish this problem. 238. Before my computer crashes or burns or whatever it does. Alright. We got some like terms here. Let's do that. We have 289 plus 7x. Well, let's see. If that was 90, that would be 297. So it's 296. Hey, I think I did that one in my head. Oh my God, but I wrote the wrong thing down. That figures. Make sure I hit draw there. Da-da. 2. Oh, now I've already forgotten what I was going to do. 296. X is equal to, I'm going to have to speed this up. I'm afraid my computer's going to die on me. I can't record with the cord plugged in, probably wondering. It gets some background humming noise going on there. Let's go ahead and take this negative 12 over to the right. Let's make it a positive 12. All right. And then, so we end up with x is equal to 238 plus 12 over 296. And who knows what's going on with that. 238, 248, 250 over 296, I believe. I'm sure it probably reduces down. Yeah. What did I say that was, that bottom part? Because it looks like it reduces down to 125 over 48. That was 248, 250 over 296. 296. Okay, 148 times 2 is 296. That'd be 250, yeah. So just divide this by 2 to, okay, simplifies down. So there's your solution. All right. We're over here at gotomath.com. Hope you're getting this stuff. Talk to you later. Practice. Come on by. Say hi. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Okay, we're here at gotomath.com trying to get something done. Let's click algebra. Let's go down to linear equations, which is barely on the screen. And we need to look at 8.1. Alright, there we go. And we can barely get it on the screen there, it looks like. Find that number. Sounds like a game show. Um, 23 times the number increased by 1 is 15. Is 15. So there you go. So we want to convert this sentence here into a mathematical equation, right? So we need to kind of know the language. And that means we need to bring up the marker board and let's do that. Alright, let's get that done. And what are we going to use? I don't know. We'll use blue maybe. Let's do that. So it says 23 times a number. Okay, well, I think we all know what 23 is. I think we can all figure out how to write that. So 23 times a number. Now, we'll let the number be x. How's that? 23 times a number is increased by 1. And increased means we're going to add 1 to it. And the word is the equal sign. And then obviously 15. Okay? 23 times a number increased by 1. So this is the number. 23 times a number, and that whole thing is increased by 1 is 15. Alright, so then what you want to do is, okay, we need to go ahead and solve for x. That means we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. So we'll just do that. And so then we have 23x. And of course, plus 1 minus 1 is 0. 15 minus 1 is 14. I think I can do that. And then, of course, the next thing we'll have to do is multiply through by the reciprocal of 23. And that's going to be 1 over 23 to both sides. 1 over 23 to both sides. And so this guy cancels out. Right, we're left with a 1 here. Of course, I don't know, I'm writing it there anyway. Now, this number, it's not stated on what the number could be. In other words, the range of this number. And that means that we're just looking at all real numbers. Whoa. And, okay, because this is going to end up being a rational number. Of course, I'm not going to write 1 here. We'll just write x. We finish it up, solving for x here. But that number is 14 over 23, right? This is a rational number. It's a fraction. We call that a rational number. All right. 14 over 23. Now, if the solution says, well, it could only be a natural number, you know what natural numbers are, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe just an integer. Right, then this would have no solution if we were to state that, but solution could be any number, any real number. Anyway, 14 over 23, and I guess I have to ask the question, will that actually reduce down? And the answer is no. No, that's not reducing down. 14 over 23, let's type that in up here. And hold our breath. Correct. We'll go ahead and click answer. Make sure that's correct also. Okay. So this is an interesting section here, section 8, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. You want to come on by, practice that. Let's click what else you get. Click, click, click. Okay. Lots of practice. Anyway, we'll see you there. Bye. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Working some algebra. Let's go down to linear equations, which can barely be seen there. And let's just click right there. Okay, now it doesn't look like the whole thing is on the screen here, and I really don't want to have to move it around, so I'll just have to tell you what it says. How's that? It says find the solution to the equation. In 8.1 we said find that number, but you know, we're going to write this as an equation and then find the solution. So there you go. Okay, you can ask these things all different kinds of ways. We got 17 times a number. So if you did 8.1, you should at least know how to do part of this, or actually both parts. We have 17 times a number. Let's go ahead and write that down. So 17 times some number. We're going to let x be that number. increased by 7, so that means we're going to add 7 to it, is equal to, because is represents the equal sign, 4 times, that says times there if you can't see half of it, part of it. So 4 times a, there's an a over here to the right of times, number, 4 times the number, it increased by 19. Increased by 19, right? Okay, so there we go. We have now deciphered what this says and wrote it out mathematically. And so now what we want to do is find x. We need to find the solution to this equation. And that's actually not going to be too difficult, right? So let's see, what are we going to do first? We want to consolidate our x's, get them all to one side of the equal sign, and then get all our constants over to the other side. Now, since 17, this coefficient, is greater than this coefficient, we're going to take this guy over to this side over here. All right, take it over to that side. And when we do take it over to that side, it's whatever the sign is out here, which happens to be positive. When we take it over, it becomes negative. So I'm going to actually start doing some shortcuts on this stuff. All right, kind of showing you some shortcuts. Normally we would say minus 4x over here to this side, but we're going to start skipping that part. So we're going to take this, move it like a chess piece over to this side of the equal sign, and make it a negative. All right. Now, what are we going to do with this 7? Well, we're going to take it over here. All right, take it over here, and so that means since it's positive, it will become a negative. So now we have 19 because we moved that over, and then minus 7. All right. Okay, so we've got like terms here. Let's see what we can do here with that. We got 17 minus 4. What is that? 13? 13x. Right. And then 19 minus 7 is 12. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 12. 12. And so we multiply, right? Or that's right. We're doing the shortcut now. So take the 13 and just move it diagonally down in this direction. So x is 12 over 13. Okay, so we're not going to be multiplying through anymore and doing all that kind of stuff. We're going to shorten this thing down. All right, shorten it down like you'd normally do. So there you go. The solution is, we're going to write solution over here, is 12, whoops, 12, I don't know what happened, 12 over 13. All right, solution is 12 over 13. Okay. So that's the number. And what are we going to do here? Scroll up, hit answer. You can type it in the box if you want. Actually, I think I am, just to make sure. I need to actually do that every time. We got to make sure everything's good. Okay, it's all working out. All right, so there it is. Come on by, go to math.com. You can practice and practice and practice all you want, because you can't wear out the website. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com doing something, doing some linear algebra, or some linear equations, and inequalities are in this section. I'm not sure. Oh, this is the title. Never mind. So you've just got to do an 8. Let's look at 9 here. 9.1. So we got some application problems coming up now, finally. And this is kind of real world stuff, believe it or not. I mean, you encounter this stuff all the time, whether you realize it or not. Okay. All right. And of course, I'll just be reading what it says over here to the right. You'll have to come to the website if you're not already here and see what that says, because I don't want to have to move this thing around. Anyway, what do we got going on here? It says you will need to rent a car for a 2-day trip. So you're going on a 2-day trip, need to rent a car, right? And these are sometimes some of the things you run across. Rental company A charges $49 per day with unlimited mileage. Company B charges $41 per day plus 3 cents per mile. How many miles will you need to drive so that the cost of company A is equal to the cost of company B? Okay, and if you don't really understand the question here, maybe you'll understand it here in just a second. Okay, so we need to write some stuff down here. And let me get my pen out here. What color? That color there? Sounds good. Okay. 2-day trip. Let's see. So we're going to write up a couple equations is basically what we're going to do. We're going to set these equations equal to each other and solve for the mileage. That's what's going to actually happen here. Okay. So let's do company A here. We'll just call it CA. And actually we'll let C be cost. How's that? Okay. So they charge $49 per day, $49 per day. So we'll say 49, and that's a rate, right? That's a rate, $49 per day, and we'll let D be day. How's that? So D is the number of days, right? And they have unlimited mileage, so that's cool. Then we got car company B, rental company B there, okay? Now they charge $41 a day, so $41 times days, okay, plus, right, 3 cents per mile, 3 cents per, or 30 cents per mile. That didn't say 3 cents, that says 30 cents per mile. So 0.3, and we're going to let x be the number of miles, okay, let x be the number of miles. All right, how many miles will you need to drive so that the cost of company A is equal to the cost of company B? Okay, so we set up our two equations. That was pretty simple. Now, D is something that they gave us. Remember, we're going on a 2-day trip. So D is equal to 2. We're going on a 2-day trip. That's pretty simple, right? So let's go ahead and write this out, simplify it down. So this is going to be 98, right? 49, actually we better just do this. 49 times 2 is $98. So this is going to end up costing us $98 for company A, and company B, all right, is 41 times 2 plus we got the 30 cents per mile. The 30 cents per mile, 0.3. You could say 0.30 if you want, whatever. All right, and so this actually ends up simplifying down to what, 82. So it's going to cost you $82. And then depending on how many miles, okay, how many miles that you drive. So you may be just renting a car and may just be going, let's say, across town for 2 days. You've flown into some town and you just need it for 2 days, got 2 seminars to attend, and but you're not traveling that far, so you just never know, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to take company A and we're going to set that equal to company B. So this is going to be the break-even point here, and set both these equations equal to each other, and so we end up with 98 is equal to 82 plus 0.3 times the number of miles. Okay, and then we just go ahead and solve for x in this problem. So I'm just going to kind of write it over here. So we have 98 minus 82 is equal to 0.3x. Okay, so what do we got going on here? We got 8 and 8 is 16. Is that right? Okay, so then we just take that 0.33. So we have 16 over 0.3 is equal to x. And I don't know if I state this or not, but I think I end up rounding the answer to 2 decimal places. So does this make any sense? Well, I guess it does. 53.33 miles. So what this basically means here is if I'm going to rent the car, okay, and I'm going to go 54 miles, right, 54 miles, then I'm going to probably want to use this guy right here. Okay, I'm probably going to end up wanting to use this guy. And of course, you can take the 54, right, the 54 miles or whatever, and plug it into. So actually, what I'm going to do here is just go ahead and do that. So car company, which one did I plug it into? Well, that's going to cost $98. It doesn't make any bit of difference there. No matter what's going on there, it's going to cost you $98. Okay, so let's remember that. All right. I think I actually said something wrong here. Let's take 54. Let's take the 54 and put it into here, right, in car company B. And let's see what that actually is going to be. And actually, you would say this. So 54, we're going to type that in. We're going to put that into here. So we got 82 plus 0.3 times 54. And let's see what our cost actually ends up being. 0.3 times 50. Okay, I'm getting $98 and 2 cents. $98.02. Okay. So as you can see, actually, it's cheaper to go this route if you're going over this amount. Okay, we're over here to gotomath.com. Click on linear equations, and I think we're going to be looking at 9.2. And of course, we can't get the whole thing on the screen here, so I'll have to fill in the blanks for you. We got Coffee Company offers options. You can purchase a promotional cup, that's what this says, for $8 with a 61-cent refills, or you can buy a new cup on each visit for $1.83. How many visits will the cost become equal? Now, what I mean by that is well, let's just write this stuff out and then you'll see what I mean. How's that? We'll do that. What color we want to do? Do red. Red. Maroon, whatever, scarlet. So, Coffee Company offers options. Alright, so let's write this formula out here for the cost of Coffee Company A. Well, actually, I got thinking too much of the last problem. It's just one coffee. Option A, let's say, we'll call this option A here. How's that? So option A is they've got a promotional cup. You can buy the cup for $8, right? So this is a cost equation here. So we'll write cost, C for cost, okay, for option A. 61 cents for refills. So we're going to say 0.61 and let X be the number of refills. And the cost, or the initial cost, is $8 to buy the cup. Okay, $8 to buy the cup, and each refill is 61 cents. All right, 61 cents, and this would be the number of refills. Okay, and then, of course, the old option is just to buy a cup of coffee, and of course, the size of this coffee actually does kind of matter, but I kind of left that out. Try to simplify this problem down. All right, and so we'll just say that they have one size. Anyway, so it's $1.83. CB equals. So it's $1.83 every time you come in. Okay, so we have 183 times X. So X is the number of, I guess you could say, refills, or the number of times you get coffee. How's that? Okay. Now, this company here, this is really not fair, because you purchase the cup, then they turn around and charge you for the first refill. Or they charge you, 61 cents. So they should give the first refill free, since you buy the cup. But I'm telling you, there's a coffee company in my town. Actually, it's called the Coffee Company. Anyway. Okay. So here we go. So we've set up we've got both of our relationships here, and what we're going to want to do is solve for x in this problem. All right. So 0.61 x plus 8. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. The coffee company lets you have that first refill for free. So I'm going to let you figure that out. Um, the problem changes then. Okay. Give you a little hint, this should be x minus 1 there. But anyway, we're going to consider that you buy the cup and then you have to pay 61 cents for that first refill. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we go. We've got our equations set up and we want now to solve for x. Now the way this works is obviously this is smaller than this coefficient. So we're going to take this over to the right. 0.61x is equal to 8, and then do the math. Alright, so we get, looks like, that's 1.22x. And then we just take this number diagonally down over here, so 8 divided by 1.22. And of course, we're probably going to end up getting a decimal point here. 8 divided by answer. And we actually do. 6 point, we'll say 5. It's 6.55, we'll say 56. Now, of course, you can't have 6.56 visits or go up to the counter 6.56 times. So what you're probably going to want to do is probably round that up maybe to 7. Okay, so that's something that you need to think about. All right, I think actually the answer, I think I probably do round that. I'm not sure what I do, but anyway, we're going to find out here in just a second. So there's your break even. In other words, if you go to the counter, let's say between 6 and 7 times, all right, if you're going to make more than 6 visits, right, to get in cups of coffee, then you need to evaluate which is going to be the better deal, right? And so you would take that 7 and just plug it in up here. Let's do that. Okay, so I went ahead and plugged this 7V, just means 7 visits here. I went ahead and plugged 7 in up here. Okay, we're here at go-to-math.com. Let's go down to click algebra, go down to linear equations, and 10.1. Now, I'm just going to say something about this problem here real quick. It's somewhat been simplified, okay, but it's still, I think, relevant. But we'll talk about the details here in a second. You just pulled up into a gas station to get some gas, and this says, after noticing the price per gallon is $2.52, after researching gas stations in your area, of course you probably did that on your phone, you find there's a station that is selling gas for $2.44 per gallon, and the station is 1.54 miles away. You get 15 miles per gallon. Now that means, right, that's the rate at which you get in your car, 50 miles per gallon. How many gallons do you need to purchase for the cost to break even? Okay, so we're going to write up a couple cost equations, and that's right, we'll solve for x. Okay, so let's go down here to the whiteboard where we belong. And what do you think? How about brown? I don't know. Okay, so let's see here. What do we got going on? Price per gallon. All right, so the gas station, we'll just call this the cost for gas station A. How's that? Is equal to your cost of the station you have pulled up into is going to be $2.52 times X, and we'll let X be the number of gallons that you purchase, okay? And the one that you might drive to, because the rate of their gas is, I know you can't see this, but it's $2.44 per gallon. $2.44. Their rate is going to be a whole lot less, isn't it? And of course, this is going to be always the gas station you're going to want to go to if you're getting, a lot of gas. But the question is, what is a lot of gas in this case? The station is 1.54 miles away, and you get 15 miles per gallon. So we've got to figure out what would that cost be. Now I know that there's gas already in your tank, and that's actually what you're going to be using, and who knows what you paid for that gas. But we're going to consider the gas that you actually purchase at that particular gas station, which was $2.44 per gallon. Okay, so that's what I was talking about when it comes to the details. Okay, so this right here, this is going to end up becoming the cost that it's going to cost you to drive over there. And the way we're going to figure that out is you're going to have to drive 1.54 miles. All right, so that's the mileage right there, and you get 15 miles per gallon. Okay, so that's going to end up being the number of gallons. That'll be the number of gallons. Then what did it cost? It cost $2.44. All right. So let's go ahead and find out what that number is. And after I did some magic there, I'm getting this number right here to be actually equal to, we're just going to kind of circle this right here, is equal to 0.25. Well, we're going to go ahead and go on out to 2.5. Just want to get a round off there or something. But anyway, that's what this number is right here. So it's going to cost you $0.25 just to drive over there. Okay, that's what it looks to me like. This be $0.25. All right. So the next order of business now is what we've been doing in previous problems. You just take this thing, set it equal to each other. Right. This one have x in common. So we have 252x is equal to 244x, and then plus the 0.2505. Okay, 0.2505. And then, of course, we want to solve for x in this problem. So we got 252. I'm going to skip a step here now. So you hang on in there. So that's just bringing this over to the left-hand side, right? And then we went ahead and factored an x out. All right, at 0.2505. And then, so we end up with x is equal to 0.2505 divided by whatever this difference is. We'll just leave it like that. How's that? Minus 244. Okay. Okay, so if you plan on getting at least 3, and I'm just going to round this to 2 decimal places here, and I think I do that in the problem. But if you plan on getting 3.13 gallons or more, or actually if you plan on getting 3.13 gallons or greater than 3.13 gallons, you're going to be saving money, obviously, if you go to the one across town that's 1.54 miles away. Okay, because then you start actually saving money. So that kind of depends on you. But now you know how to set a problem like this up, and maybe you should try checking this out sometime using this. But anyway, let's go up here and hopefully everything works out. So 3.13, and that what we got? Yeah. And you can figure out what that cost is going to be actually. Just plug it in and find out. So 3.13, let's just make sure everything's working out on that, and it is. Okay. So check this out. You need to, this is real world stuff right here, especially if you're writing a computer program, writing an app or something for your phone, and you're trying to calculate for somebody the best gas in town to get, considering where their position in town is located, right? So we're over here at gotomath.com. You want to check that out, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to linear equations, and I believe we're looking at 10.2. Get that to come up. Alright, I thought I'd throw this in here. In the earlier sections here, we solved some linear equations. In fact, it was just one equation with one unknown. Now, this is a linear equation, except you see the difference here. We have two unknowns, an x and a y. All right. Now, we have another equation over here with an x and a y, and what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to use this equation to help us find the solution to this equation here. Okay, so if you've never seen this before, well, I guess this will be the first time, and it's not too difficult. Okay, so the idea is we want to get one of these equations all in terms of one variable, either x or y. And this method is known as substitution method. And that is, we're going to substitute this y right here in for x plus 17. All right. And this way we get this all in terms of one variable. So let's just go ahead and come down here and write this out. All right. So we have we use small something. What am I trying to say? Small width of the line. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and write this out. So we have 6x plus 6y is equal to 198. All right, and then of course we have y equaling x plus 17. X plus 17. I think actually I am going to go to a little thicker there with the line. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this x plus 17 and plug it in right here. Plug it in right here, okay? So we end up with 6x plus 6 times x plus 17 is equal to 198. Is equal to 198. And now what we want to do here is solve for x. Solve for x. So 6x plus, distribute that 6 across, we have 6x plus 6 times 17 is equal to 198. Right? And then of course we want to collect up all our like terms. 6x and 6x is 12x. And that is going to be equal to 198 minus 6 times 17. So let's see, that's 60 and it's 42, 102. I don't know. Let's see, 198 minus 6 times 17. 198 minus 6 times 17. You know, I got a calculator up here, might as well use it. 96. 96. 12x. So we end up with 96 over. Something happened there, not sure what. Something went crazy. Yeah, this thing's going crazy for some reason. Okay. If I can get this thing to work. Over 12. All right, and of course we can reduce that down, I'm sure. And let's see, 8. Okay, reduce down to 8. So x is 8. Now the question is, what is y? We need to know what is y. Well, we can take this 8 now and plug it right on in up here to y, which is x plus 17. Y is equal to x plus 17. So this becomes 8 plus 17. And so there we go. We found the two solutions, 8 and 25. Now up here in the box, of course it doesn't say this anymore, but they wanted us to put in the x first, comma, and then the y. Correct. Okay. So it's kind of a little bit of an advanced problem there, but it's not too difficult to solve. All right. There you go. Solving linear equations. More than one variable. Okay, so we're over here at gotomath.com. You want to come on by, check that out, and I'll see you later.